Okay, today's video we're going to talk about telemedicine marketing and or PPC, the strategy that I've used several times now to crush it for telemedicine companies as well as regular medicine, if you will, drug rehabs, mental health centers where we transitioned to an online only model and actually did very, very well as a result. You can get out ahead of this and actually, if you have a medical clinic, switch over to an online only or at least having an online option to deal with your patients, to service your patients, and you can actually get these results for yourself where there's way little competition of people doing it right now, which is why I decided to make this video. So even if you're not in telemedicine now, you should be getting into it because this is where obviously everything is going and the formula is all right here for you to be able to use. With that said, I will go over what to specifically do if you want to actually go to an online model, or if you're a telemedicine company, what you should do that we found works the best. So you can replicate this for your own clinic/business. And then if you stay to the end of the video, I will talk about the results that we got in the various markets where we actually applied this strategy to our clients' businesses. So with that said, before I get into the content and the strategy though, I am Corey Zyman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, an online advertising agency that specializes in guaranteeing results for their clients. That is, we do not charge our clients management fees until we can get them a certain minimum lift in profitability of their ads up front in excess of the management fee that we charge. We are the only agency on the planet who offers such an offer, which should tell you something about the quality of the information you're receiving on this video. So with that said, getting into the content here. Online consultations itself can be done for so many different services, whether it be you are doing prescriptions for people, online prescriptions, where people need even if it's a diabetes prescription, whatever it is, a mental health, because even with the prescriptions, by the way, you can send people a way to send a sample to you and then you actually analyze it and send them the prescription, which we've also done specifically as well. And I'll tell you a little bit about that as well. Even if you are doing like a regular mental health service, like you have a psychiatry service, you could go purely to the online model and actually make a lot more money because people actually want to deal with somebody online, believe it or not. People just don't want to come into the businesses anymore. And if you are getting out ahead of this in your own market, you can do very, very well. Also, drug rehabs, at least for outpatient services and even also drug evaluations that you have to, the court evaluates you because you got busted. You need to go in for a drug eval. We had with a drug rehab center done this all online and is doing very, very well as a result, which is all legal to do, by the way. Telemedicine, if you will, can be done for all these businesses and you can make a ton of money at it right now, which is why I'm recommending that you actually do this. If you have a regular medical clinic, have an online option and or just try to transition to online only. Because in my belief, 10 years from now, that's basically all it's going to be. People are going to not want to come into the clinics less and less and less, and systems are going to be more advanced. There's going to be labs where you can send your test results to a third-party lab that then phones in the results to the medical provider, then prescribe you and send your prescription into the pharmacy or out through the mail itself. Because the deal is, by the way, the reason why this is picking up and is so profitable already, in my mind, is because people hate waiting in line. Yes, for a mental health clinic, you can kind of get in right away. And the main issue is just driving there. If you're trying to get an STD test, which we've had somebody who done this as well, you can actually send a kit out in the mail so people could take their own sample. And even though I'm uncomfortable about it itself, it's a lot better than waiting at the doctor's office for an hour or 2 hours or whatever it is to try to get this test done. So you got the driving time and then this is why it's all going to go online here in the near future. So with that said, okay, now here is the basic formula that we found that works, promote an online only service or online prescriptions that really will crush it. And I'm going to use and go with this basic model right here on any new campaign that I'm going to put together in the next 10 years as the telemedicine really starts to ratchet up. And so with that, I've broken this down into basically the two main parts, which is the ad or ad copy that you're going to use, and then also the landing page, which, by the way, if you, as you're watching this, you say to yourself, Corey, I need somebody to do this for me. I've got your back. Reach out to me at my firm. We actually don't charge unless we can get you a certain minimum result on your campaign. If we've already done what you're looking for, that is, we've sold home STD kits, you're trying to do that, reach out to us. We can sell you the template that we use to do it, the ads, the landing pages, and you have those. Or if you're looking to get in another business, we've been selling templates for that as well. We worked in over 200 different niche markets, and the easiest way to get into a new business is start with a template that works to sell it, and just sell it in a different geographic market that our client is in, and it's all fair game to use it, and you'll have a multi-million-dollar a year business just by building it around that template, be very successful. Or you can use it to generate leads and sell the leads to businesses, which we've had many people do now, or a drop shipping product, and so on and so forth. So with that said, the ad copy, now this isn't the actual literal ad copy that we used, but it gets the general idea across of what you want to do here in your Google search ads, which is where you're going to run your ads. Okay, not to say you can't get things to work on Facebook, on social media, you can. However, the main thing I would focus on is on Google. And then once you get Google to work, then you can diversify part of your money to go elsewhere. Main thing with social media networks is it's hard to get approved, stay approved. Google's actually very lenient with this stuff. But if you did have a mental health clinic, I'm certainly going to try to get Facebook ads to work for it. Put together some sort of offer where you're going to offer patients an additional 50% off their initial consultation, which is one that we've done before that's worked well. And go ahead and not limit yourself to Google ads, even though Google ads will generate, for a lot of you guys, provide all you need, especially when you add in Bing, because everything that works on Google will work on Bing. But as far as your search ads go, secondarily, this could kind of basically be used for a social media campaign, even though we've done something separate on social if we went ahead and did social for a client in the telemedicine space. We do online consultations / prescriptions. Sign up in 60 seconds. The main thing, like I was mentioning before, why I even brought it up, the main thing with telemedicine, why it's growing so quickly now and it's so profitable, is because it saves time. I do not have enough time in the day to go to a doctor, but I would get treated if the doctor would come to me, or, I could deal with them online only. And so you stated up right up front that we're online. So with a mental health clinic that we worked with, we used this ad copy to state right up front, hey, if you're needing to find a mental health clinic in your area close to you, we do an online version. We did this also with the drug rehab before. Need outpatient drug rehab services? We do it all online. And just saying we do it all online, at least at this stage, and probably for a few years at least now, you're going to get a lot of people clicking on your ad because that is highly attractive. It's the same reason why, by the way, work from home works so well. If you want the top employees in your market that you can find, offer them work at home. Why? Because everybody wants to work at home now. And you can literally steal the best employees from your competitors just by saying, hey, you can work at home. I've done it. With that said, that's your flag, if you will, to just get people to click on your ads. And your click-through rate is going to be at least twice as good as your competitors because people want this so much. Now, once you get them to click on your ad, you're going to go with one of two different landing page layout options. As it comes to landing pages, I talk about a lot on this channel how the layout of the page is actually the main thing that influences your conversion rate. Yes, you got to have important things to say on the page. It's nice to have celebrity endorsements and this and that. But if your information's not laid out correctly, it's not going to convert well. And you could actually have a situation where you convert at 4% on one page and 20 on another just by rearranging the content in a more logical and clear way that doesn't allow the user to say, think, what am I supposed to do here? How am I supposed to get the information that I came here that I need at a minimum to do business with this company? That is usually, do you do it? Do you cover my area? Can I trust you? So with that said, the first layout here, more often used, what you're going to do at the top part of the landing page is you're going to put your headline. So if it's online mental health, you're going to say online mental health service from local Chicago provider, sign up button directly underneath it. And then you have a picture basically of the mental health provider there so they know who you're going to get to deal with. Below that section, you're going to have a picture of a side-by-side, basically a Zoom meeting where the doctor and the patient's being shown there, assuming, you can get clearance from a patient to do this, which shouldn't be that hard, or use a stock image. It doesn't matter. But that right there shows what you're going to have. And I recommend a little Zoom logo next to the image there. Then underneath that, you're going to have credit card symbols, and you're going to have the price for each consultation underneath it, and then a buy now link. In this situation, where they have to come in for treatment, or it's pretty straight, it can be defined pretty much what most people have to pay. You'll increase your conversion rate a ton just taking the order like an e-commerce company, the user right up front at this point, because they're going to see the image of, okay, clearly this is what it is. It's just a Zoom call, whatever. They're going to be already ready to just go ahead and book this because you're probably the only person in your local market doing this, and this is what everybody wants. This is not that complicated. This is the basic formula I would work with if you're a traditional medical outlet, medical clinic, a dermatologist, whatever you're doing in order to make a boatload of money. Now, if you're selling prescriptions, and when I say that, I mean like you're selling erectile dysfunction, dick pills, whatever. And that's your gig, if you will. And so what you're trying to primarily do is just get people online, peddle is the word I'm thinking for. Peddle your pills to as many people as you can. So with this model here, I would go with the alternate landing page style here, where specifically we did erectile dysfunction medication and a couple others now for the same client. What you're going to have on this landing page is up front is your headline. So if you're selling ED medication, it should say the name of the medication, ED medication, and then there's a buy now button directly underneath your headlines. On the right hand side, you're going to show a picture of the prescription, like the pill bottle or whatever. Then underneath the pay now button, it's going to have little credit card logos directly underneath it. So people know right away when they hit this page, you're going to really be able to sell them this prescription right away. Because again, main reason why this works, at least for now, is because I do not want to have to go into a doctor to get this erectile dysfunction medication. It takes me a whole afternoon to figure out how to get it. And I also may not even get it from the doctor. Who knows, depending on if there's a bug up the butt of the person I'm dealing with. So then directly below that section there, you're going to have a section that explains how it works. Because again, as of now, this is so new, people don't always know. So what you do is you have a section on the page that says how it works. Then you show a little picture of a pharmacy with the word pharmacy underneath it. And then a little picture of your doctor, and then an arrow pointing to the pharmacy. And then something that says 5-minute delivery of prescription right above the person. So they know what you're going to basically get is this company is going to call in your prescription to your local pharmacy, and you're going to get it right away. And it's going to be within 5 minutes. So if you need it now, you're going to damn well get it now. And then underneath that, though, we found that if you put something underneath there that shows a little package as like an alternate, you can do that and then put 2 days delivery so they can see, okay, I can get it now through my pharmacy, or I can get it shipped to my door. If I need it right away, I'll go through the pharmacy option. If not, I'll just get it shipped to my door. Okay? Then underneath that section, you have some reviews. Probably can't see it on your screen, but you got some reviews underneath that. And then directly underneath that, you're going to have start the process of buying. Click here. Then that process of buying just takes them through a multi-step form. Once they get to the multi-step form, they're right away put on a call with the doctor or practitioner to give them the prescription right away. They ask if you want it sent to the pharmacy or, to your address, and it's done. Naturally, before the doctor pops up, they're going to have to pay, so you don't have to waste your doctor's time. That's the flow right there. And if they click the buy button up here at the top of the page, it just takes them down to the bottom of the page, skipping all this middle content so they can start the process right away. Because that's the deal, right? A lot of people don't recognize it's like going into a car dealership. And if you knew you wanted to buy a car and the salesperson was like, you say, hey, I want to buy this car. And the salesperson says, oh, well, let's take it for a test drive first. And you say, no, I know I want to buy this car. I've already done the research. I want to damn well buy it. I don't need the test drive. And they say, well, no. You really, really need the test drive. It would just end up pissing you off. But a lot of people, most people, are going to need some seduction involved in the process to get them the rest of the way confident about the purchase. So you got to be able to, on your landing pages, to do as well as possible to cater to both parties. One that's ready to buy, one that's not so ready to buy. And the landing page always has an option for them to buy right away, for most stuff anyway. And then if they scroll down, then you start explaining why they should buy. So therefore you're catering to both parties, and therefore you're going to get the most conversions that way. With that said, there's a lot of other small things about landing page design and so forth that you should know. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you absolutely should, so you can pick up what those things are, as well as all the other ad strategies that I have that I built up over the last couple decades of running ads online and for the hundreds of clients we've worked with. So if you haven't subscribed, you should. I also have a fantastic blog on my site. If you haven't picked it up yet, my blog is at guaranteedppc.com/blog. The blog has all my strategies that I lay out there step by step with screenshots on what we're using to guarantee results for our clients. Highly recommend you check that out as well if you like the content on this channel. For the most part, the content on this channel is the best content you're going to find about ad strategy online, because I actually run dozens of ad campaigns at any given time for our clients, and I'm the one doing the strategy on them. So I'm actively figuring out what works and what doesn't work on an ongoing basis. Most of the other people you see online talking about ad strategy are people who don't run any campaigns, or they get other people to run them for them and they're just the face of the company. I'm actually 40 hours a week doing ad strategy for our clients. And I spend my weekends sharing what works. So you're literally getting it straight from the freaking source. So therefore, that's why it's worth it to subscribe and pay attention to the information on this channel, at least first, if you're serious about making millions of dollars a year running ads for your business. With that said, by the way, if you have any questions about anything I'm covering here today, or any marketing related question for that matter, I don't mind. You can always leave me a question in the comment section. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. So with that said, getting back into what I was saying here. So I mentioned that I would have a few case studies here of different markets where we got results. You can kind of see how well this is basically doing. Starting with the prescription space, we did prescriptions in the ED space, as well as markets where we were doing STD prevention medication. We did so both of those now. The overall average cost per transaction in those space, which I put cost per lead, it's really cost per transaction, around $75. Which sounds kind of high. Think about the average cost of a prescription and the low cost, the delivery of the service, if you will, because the person's still got to pay for the medication separately, because most of them are getting to the pharmacy. The main cost is, the 5 minutes of time that you're going to speak with the practitioner on the phone and the ad spend. When you're making several $100s per transaction, it works, which people are willing to pay a lot of money to bypass having to come into a physical location, at least for now. That, and there's a barrier to entry to the market as well. You got to have a legit script certification in order to do this, but that's the type of results we got in those markets. We also did work for a mental health clinic that wanted to go with an online option and go purely online. I actually advised the client that they should do this if they want to be able to really grow their business. And they actually listened to me, thankfully, and it was nice that they listened to me, because the amount of people that you are able to get in a market, because there's only able to drive so far before going to your clinic, before they'd rather go to another clinic. And so you're really hampering yourself if you don't want to go ahead and transition your business like this and go online, or at least have an online option for the consumption of your services. So instead of being able to target people up to 15 miles away from the clinic, and mostly within 5 miles, because why would I want to drive 15 miles every week to go to my provider? Now we're opening ourselves up to the entire metro area of Chicago, of Miami, doing that, and then even going national with it if we can get the campaign efficient enough, which is what we did. So with that, we were generating the leads for $50 a pop. Of those leads, and when I'm talking about lead, I'm talking about somebody who called or filled out the form. We did not take the credit card and through the landing page, which I recommend to you here, or recommended to you. We were just taking the phone call and booking it through that way. Getting them to book online, not everybody wants to do that, but you'll end up making even more money, because some people don't even want to call, which is what we've proven. A good half of them will just book through if you provide a phone number and you provide a way to book online through a credit card without talking to anybody, it'll be about 50-50. At least for people that are typing in mental health clinic, Chicago. And then you bait them in with this, we do online consultations, and that's kind of like what we've seen in terms of a split. But that was profitable, because that ended up meaning we paid about $100 for a patient all in terms of patients that actually show up for their appointment and whatnot. With that said, because even though when they call, we get their information, we take their payment itself, we take it before the actual virtual meeting, a lot of people would then call in later and cancel, and that adds in, but all in, $100 per new patient, and the average patient stays an average of 5 to 15 times. So the return on it is a good 10 to 1 already with that kind of cost per phone call / form fill. We also had a drug rehab itself that did this for drug evaluation services, as well as outpatient services. And we were generating leads for this for about $30, which is actually really, really, really good. They had a little option there where they could pay with PayPal, as well as they could call in and book and pay that way. Anyway, that gives you a general idea how effective this is. So therefore, you should really consider jumping on this now, because if you wait around for everybody to tell you to do it, it's already the early bird advantage is going to be gone. You're going to be paying, instead of $30 conversion, it's going to be $300. And that's the way that everything goes. So with that said, if you're not quite sure what to do and you're stuck with where you're at in terms of revenue or revenue-wise, you can also reach out to me and consider doing a 30-minute coaching call with me, because I can go through all your stuff, your pricing strategy, everything you're doing, website, and then also your ads, and tell you where you're stuck and how to uncork your results again, how to uncork your revenue. Because, and I started doing this recently because a lot of you guys think your ads are ticket to millions. And the reality is you have a pricing issue or a website issue. You got to fix that first, and then your ads are going to start working. I'm able to do this well because I've worked with hundreds of companies now, and I'm really good at asking questions to find out whether it's worth it to keep working on the ads or not, so we can get other issues out of the way, because I don't want to work on something that won't work. We guarantee results, so we got to get a campaign to work to get paid. So if you're interested in that, you can also reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. I could talk to you about having that consultation. Every single person who's gotten that consultation from me has come back for a second consultation so far, literally speaking. With that said, I'll wrap it up with that though. Hopefully this made a lot of sense to you, inspired you to really change your business or use the strategy I gave you to propel your telemedicine business that you already have now. But with that said, I'll wrap it up with that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Remember when I said landing page S was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.